Hello, pre-med students and non-traditional pre-meds. My name is Dr. Ola Kolawole. I'm a board-certified family practice physician and founder of MedmatchMD, which is an online platform that helps students like yourself make an educated decision of choosing the right offshore Caribbean medical school so you can ultimately fulfill your dream of becoming practicing physicians in the United States or in Canada. So a lot of you have asked me about MedmatchMD, what it's all about, and about the website. So today I've decided to put together a video that shows you how to navigate the website and what benefits you get from becoming a member of MedmatchMD community. So without much further ado, I will be sharing my screen with you and going through the website with you today. So we are on the home page for MedmatchMD. So this is essentially what you'll see. So you have the home button, become a member, search medical schools, the blog, testimonials, as well as join our email list here. And if you scroll down on the home page, so essentially, this tells you what MedmatchMD is all about. Begin your dream of becoming a doctor. Instantly compare close to 40 Caribbean medical schools with multiple requirements side by side. You get to search, compare, and make a decision stress-free. So essentially, MedmatchMD, this talks about what I mentioned earlier. Essentially, we take the hassle away by narrowing down the decision-making process, helping you navigate the steps in finding the right school. Okay, over here it lists medical schools, and if you click this button right here, you'll find all the medical schools on our platform. Okay, and then here is our email list. I highly recommend you get on the email list to get updates as well as tips in applying to Caribbean medical schools. And then the bottom here is, of course, our contact information. All right, so moving on to the next page here, become a member. So a lot of you have asked me again, what are the benefits of membership? And so essentially, being able to access close to 40 Caribbean medical schools in one platform is one huge benefit of this platform. And, a lot of you or can easily choose to go to each individual school, but that takes time, and then you're unable to really compare the schools, and you're not able to get all that information all at once. So the benefit of the site is it navigates, it brings all that information together. It curates all that information together under one platform. Essentially, this website is a one-stop platform to find information about offshore Caribbean medical schools. So also, you get to compare schools, up to 3 schools side by side at once. You get to join a private online community of MedmatchMD members. You'll get quarterly Q&A sessions in a private group, and those sessions will be with myself, and in some cases I'll invite other docs that have graduated from Caribbean medical schools to those sessions. You also get to access just different aspects of the schools that you're interested in applying to, from the location of the school, the year it was established, their direct contact information, websites, email, contact details, their tuition per semester. And the tuition is broken down into basic sciences as well as clinical sciences. You also get to access schools that are approved for participation in U.S. federal student loans. I think that's very important for those applying from the U.S. and also for Canadian student loans as well. You want to know that. because if a school is not approved, then you would have to um, apply for private loans if you can't pay uh, pay your tuition um, using the federal student loan option. And then it also has schools that offer scholarships. It has MCAT schools MCAT requirements. So essentially, it will tell you schools that require the MCAT. So in order to decide to find out the ones that don't, is essentially would be a process of elimination. So again, you have clinical rotations in the U.S. and the ones in Canada. So schools essentially that provide these will be listed. It lists the school's accreditation, lists the schools that are eligible, that students uh, are eligible to practice in all 50 states of the United States. So essentially, when you're done with residency, you want to make sure that whatever school you went to allows you to practice in all 50 states. Some schools that don't, I mean, you're still able to practice, but there might be some limitations in the states where you can practice. And then it also lists USMLE pass rates. It lists enrollments, sessions, and dates for schools and their contact information. And then if you click join now, it takes you to the subscribe page where you get to go ahead and subscribe for to become a member. Okay, and so that's it right there. And then here is search medical schools. This is the most important part here because this essentially lists all the schools um, that that we have, that we chose um, to to put on our platform, essentially. So there are close to 40, 38 as of now, and you get to go through each school and you get to compare that. Now, this page is for a not, so right now you're on a non-subscribed page. So if you're just browsing through the website, this is what you'll see. So you can see these first two schools. If you click on the compare buttons here, it would allow you to compare both schools. However, when you get to this third school, you can see a lock there, and essentially locks throughout the remaining schools, and that's because you would need to subscribe in order to get the information you need. The reason these two schools are accessible is just really to show you what to expect if you're a subscribed member. And the schools that these schools will change periodically. So just again, so you know that. And then on this side, which is the filter section, it's all locked, and that's just because this would be what you'll see if you're not subscribed. Now I'll show you what you'll get, or what you'll see rather, as a subscribed member here in just a moment. But let's quickly go to the blog. So again, this is just a welcome to the blog, and these are blog posts. So I did an interview here with a medical student that attends a Caribbean Medical School, University of Medicine and Health Sciences in St. Kitts. Here I discussed Caribbean Medical Schools, MCAT interviews, virtual interviews in the era of the COVID pandemic. Here is my story. A lot of you have asked for my my story and my journeys so far, and that's my story right there. I decided to put it in the blog. And then, it has, here's an interview I had with another physician, a family practice doctor who graduated from a Caribbean Medical School. So here is a blog post on 5 reasons to consider applying to an offshore Caribbean medical schools. So essentially this, I'll be, of course, updating or adding more content just to that will be valuable to you essentially in making a decision. So over here are testimonials from doctors that have attended Caribbean medical schools, and it starts with myself. I am an international medical grad, and I attended a Caribbean medical school, um, Ross University School of Medicine. And here is Dr. Amaoni, who also attended a Caribbean medical school. And I have Dr. Uwa, who is a pediatrician and attended American University of Antigua. And I have Dr. Kazi, who is a graduate of Avalon University, which is also a university in the Caribbean. He's a sports medicine physician. So as you can see, there are doctors from all walks of life and not different specialties that have graduated from Caribbean medical schools. And you know, I just featured just a few docs here. We'll be having more features down the line as well. So again, this brings us back to our email list. All right, so I'm going to take you to the page you'll see it if you are subscribed. Okay, just a moment here. All right, so this is what you'll see as a subscribed member. So let's just go straight to the membership, the search medical schools page here. That's where you'll see the, see how you can access each school. So for the sake of comparison here, so actually before we compare schools, I want you to take a look on the left-hand corner over here. See all the lock buttons are gone and all the compare buttons are no longer red. There are no locks. You have free access to all these schools and you get to compare them. You get to find as much information as you need to get to a decision. All right, so before we compare schools, I just want to go right here to talk about a couple of things that I'll mention while we are comparing schools. So say, for instance, you want to find a school or find all schools that require MCAT on here, and that's all you need. So instead of it listing the 38 schools that it listed previously, it is listing 10 schools. So 10 of these schools require MCAT, and they list all the schools, okay? If you wanted to find out, schools that offer federal student loans or allow you to apply rather for federal student loans, well, there are 7 schools that allow that here, okay? So, you know, essentially you find the information you need, right? That's pertinent to you. So I want to talk about accreditation before we go and see how the comparing schools look like. For accreditation is very, very important for Caribbean medical schools. And what I did was I listed 3 accreditations. And the reason I listed only 3 on this site is because these are the most important, at least as of right now. And that is not to say that schools don't have other accreditations. I listed these because this is really what matters if you're planning to return to the United States to practice. And I'll read this blurb right here because I think every part of it is very important. So in 2023, Caribbean medical schools will have to be accredited by a World Federation of Medical Education recognized accrediting body in order for students to obtain ECFMG certification. Now, ECFMG, the full name for it is Education Commission for Foreign Medical Graduates. So in order to receive certification for ECFMG certification and to be able to take the United States medical licensure exam and practice in the United States, you will need to you will need to go to or attend a school that is accredited. Okay. Now, if you don't care about, returning to the States, or if you're from a different country watching this video and your plan is not really to come to the United States or go to Canada, then this is really nothing to be concerned about. But I would still make sure the school is accredited, has some sort of accreditation. Okay. So, what do these three? What are these three accreditations about? Now, CAAMHP stands for the Caribbean Accreditation Authority for Education in Medicine and other health sciences, or health professions rather. ACCM is the Accreditation Commission of Colleges of Medicine. NVAO is the Accreditation Organization of Netherlands and Flanders. Now, NVAO, out of all the schools listed on this platform, NVAO only, the only school rather that's accredited by NVAO is Saba University. Okay. Now, CAAMHP, which is, there's a reason for the short name, which is the Caribbean Accreditation Authority for Education in Medicine and Health Professions. If you click on that, you'll see here that there are, let's take these other filters off so we can find out exactly how many. You'll see that there are actually 12 schools that are accredited by CAAMHP. Okay, click out of there. ACCM, there are 9 schools. And again, these are schools on my website. I'm sure there are probably other schools that are accredited by these accreditation agencies. But for the purpose of the schools I have listed on this site, these are the schools that are accredited. Okay. And then if you click on NVAO, you'll see the one school, Saba University, that's accredited by NVAO. Okay. All right. So in a nutshell, if you plan to return to the United States to practice, I will highly recommend you go to a school that's accredited and that has one of these 3 accreditations. And that's why I list only these. So a lot of schools have other local, accreditations. I haven't listed them because my goal is to list the ones that really matter, especially for those of you that are planning to return to the States. Okay. So let's go ahead and compare schools. Now over here, you get to search medical schools as well. So if you don't, want to go all the way down, scrolling down, and you just want to find a specific school, you can type it in right here. So I am going to pick 3 schools here. Why don't we do this, that, and that. Okay. All right. So when you pick the schools, you click the compare button, and then as you can see, it has the 3 schools listed. It has their locations. You can see the first school is located in Jamaica. You have the second school, University of Antigua, in Antigua. You have AUC in St. Martin. And then, you get to see the years they're established. You get to see their tuition for basic sciences, clinical sciences, language spoken. Now, language spoken, for all the schools I have listed on my website is English. So there are some schools that are non-English, that are not their method of instruction is in other languages, but I just felt I'll keep it simple and list the English-speaking schools on this website. All right, and then it has their websites you can go to directly. It has the MCAT requirements. So as you can see, this first school doesn't require MCAT. These 2 schools do. You can see these 2 schools are accredited. Actually, all 3 are accredited. These are, the CAAMHP accreditation, and this is ACCM. You can see that one school doesn't you're not eligible to apply for U.S. federal student loans with this school. You are with these two schools. So if you're really interested in this school, maybe you're like, oh my goodness, but this school is way cheaper per semester, and or what have you. Call the school. Just call the school and find out what options they have. I listed the information we could obtain from the school or from their websites or from U.S. Department of Education on this site, as far as student loan coverage. But, feel free to just contact the school, okay, if you have any additional questions. So again, these schools offer the federal student loans for Canadian students. This one doesn't. All three schools offer scholarships. So USMLE pass rates, okay? So I have step 1 pass rate for these two schools, step 2 pass rates. So this school, I don't have anything listed. And so wherever you don't see information, it's because there was just the information was not obtainable. Either when we called the schools directly, we weren't able to get that information. And also when we went to their websites, we couldn't get that information either. But feel free to ask the school. Things change all the time. They may have that information now. So clinical rotations in the US, all schools allow you to return to do your clinical rotations, to do rotations in the US. All three schools allow for Canadian for rotations in Canada, except elective rotations are allowed in Canada, but not core rotations for this school. So that's important to know, okay? So your core rotations are your most important rotations. So if you really want to return to Canada and do rotations there, you have to keep in mind that not all the rotations, at least at this time of creating this video and with the information we currently have on the website, you can't get the core rotations in Canada. So, you may have to do some rotations in the US to do your electives in Canada or what have you. But again, you can always talk to the schools directly about how they can make that work for you. So this lists eligibility to apply in all 50 states. So these two schools would allow their graduates, are essentially graduates are eligible rather to practice in all 50 states of the US. So you're not really limited afterwards. After residency, you can move wherever you want. This school does not have that eligibility. So that'll be a question for the school. What does that mean? So what states can you practice when you're done? So enrollment dates, these are important. Most schools in the Caribbean allow for 3 enrollment dates, and that's one of the many perks of attending a Caribbean medical school. So essentially, if you don't get in to medical school, you have three enrollment dates. You can apply in January, May, or September. In this school right here, there are only 2 enrollment dates in a year. So essentially, you don't have to wait a whole year, basically, in order to reapply. These are their contact details, locations again. And I also added, if you wanted to, contact the school, maybe, send them a message or what have you. Well, here's how you can do it directly to the school, okay? Or if you wanted to, maybe you were so impressed with all the information you got and you wanted to make a decision, well, hey, you can go ahead and click apply. And it takes you directly to the application page, okay? So that's it for MedmatchMD. All right, so I believe you have all the information you need now to, go to MedmatchMD, www.medmatchmd.One. subscribe, and get started on looking through those schools, searching through the schools, comparing them, making an educated decision, and choosing the right school based on the information that uh, we have really carefully curated in one platform. So I hope this video has been helpful and beneficial to you. So I look forward to seeing you on the other side. And look out for more videos. And I wish you the very best in your pursuit. And yeah, I hope to call you a colleague in medicine sometime soon. So get started, okay? Don't delay. All right. Again, this is Dr. Ola Kalawale, founder of MedmatchMD, online platform that helps you make that decision of choosing the right offshore Caribbean medical school. Take care. Stay safe. Goodbye.